Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me. Thanks, Rich. So my talk's going to be a little bit different. It's not going to really be about Booz Allen at all, but the point of these talks is to talk about what it gets us passionate. And my younger son gets me very passionate. So my younger son, Zachary, was born March 2008. He was born normally at Alexandria Hospital. When he was a day old, he had a SIDS-like event. They don't know what happened, but he went into cardiac arrest. Ended up in the NICU, got moved to Fairfax Hospital, and lasted there about 2 months until he came home after surgery and a lot of hope. So for the first couple of years, Zachary, he was diagnosed with what's called HIE and cerebral palsy and a couple of other things which means he can't swallow, he can't talk, he had trouble walking, he didn't develop normally like a regular baby or a regular toddler. You can see him here, he had to roll around on the floor. He persevered, he pushed through, he got strength. He wanted to do things, he couldn't. Doctor said, well, we don't know how long he's going to develop. He could develop normally, he could stop at some point. He hasn't stopped. We did physical therapy, we did used a stander, he had motivation, he likes things like blinds and windows, so he would crawl up to the windows, and eventually, right there, that's the first time he walked when he was almost 4 years old. So he was very delayed. So coming back to technology, all kids like iPads, all kids like touchscreens, all kids like stuff like that. Zachary couldn't talk, we couldn't really communicate with him like a normal kid. Introduced him to an iPad when he was almost 4, and for Christmas that year, we got him an iPad. Little young, most kids, I think you probably don't get them iPads quite that young, but for Zachary, because he didn't have any other way to communicate or do anything, we got him an iPad. His brother was jealous. His brother didn't have an iPad. But his brother got to use his iPad. So this is a couple months after Zachary got his iPad, and this is when he was around 4 years old. He's already playing Angry Birds. Again, before this, he could barely communicate. He could barely do anything. His dexterity was not good. He could not talk. But with an iPad with a touch screen, which was relatively new at the time, he learned. So we introduced other things besides games, educational programs, and then this is an AAC program, Augmentative and Assistive Technology, for talking, and this is a kid's version, and he took to it, right? And we gave him all kinds of apps. He loved, as most kids do, he loved video, pictures, he liked taking pictures. He took 1 million pictures with his iPad. We had to keep deleting pictures off of it because it was only a 16 gigabyte version, and we finally had to turn the camera off because he just took too many pictures. So this is all leading up to 2013. We got him an iPad mini, so now he has 2 iPads. His iPad mini is a talker. It's only a talker. It's locked down with the software, so it only runs what's called Prologue Quote to Go, which is a talking program, and here he is using it. And this has been about 2 years now, he can now spell his name. He can spell, he knows letters, he knows numbers. This has a bunch of different shortcuts for talking, and we keep adding more words to his vocabulary, and with the goal being he could say almost anything. So besides the iPad, which has been a big part of his life since 2011 when we got it for him, he's learned Windows 8, touchscreen. We have a touchscreen in the kitchen. He's an expert at Windows 8. He comes and he plays Spotify. He looks at pictures. He watches TV because we have a TV app on there. Also, Minecraft. What kid doesn't like Minecraft? My older son loves Minecraft. Zachary, because his brother's doing, he got into Minecraft. He's good at Minecraft. Minecraft is not a simple game. You actually build, you do a lot of things. So he learned how to play it. He plays it really well. And if you're all on the same network, I don't know if you guys know this, if you have Minecraft Pocket Edition on the tablet, you can play on the same network with your friends. He plays with his brother, and that's his cousin. I set up a server so they can actually play with their cousin who lives in Pennsylvania when she's not with them. And they all play together, so it's a social event. So coming back to other development. So he likes, besides iPad touchscreens, he likes music, he likes dancing, he likes seeing videos and pictures of himself and the family. So here he is actually watching a video of himself dancing and enjoying it. So we actually put him in a music therapy class. He loves music. Recently introduced to the house Philips Hue lights, which are wireless light bulbs with colors, and they can actually listen to the music. So adding all of this together, Zachary actually asked for this now. He wants to listen to music. He wants the lights like a disco. And so this whole point of this is bringing out his communication, what his wants are, because he can't talk. He has trouble communicating, and he gets frustrated. But we know he has those thoughts, and so these are ways of drawing him out. So this is very recently. He takes his iPad, iTunes Music, which is free, Bluetooth speaker with the Hue lights and that app, and he controls the music, changes it. He actually even controls the app that controls the lights. He does the whole thing. He is the DJ. He's DJ Zachy. So touchscreen got him to where he is now. Very recently, he actually has gotten very good with the mouse. We have a computer in the living room, and he controls Windows Media Center, Spotify, all kinds of things. Very good with text. This is a couple years ago, we would have never thought he'd do this. So in conclusion, we do all this stuff. Partly I like technology, but a big part of it is we're trying to find ways to engage him with the world because he's not developed normally. We don't know where he's going to end up. And we use technology to help draw him out and keep him interested in what's going on. So thank you very much. Definitely. I mean, there's stuff coming out all the time, and I like trying stuff just to try it. And so what I do sometimes is I'll try something and then introduce it to him. So yes, and there's probably stuff I don't even know about, but yes. I'm just interested in it. A lot of it is just what's out there, coming out in the world. And again, this is called adaptive assistive technology, and there's a whole area that is specialized there. I'm also bringing in things that are commercial things like iPad. Like a lot of this just came out of regular things that anybody can buy, right? And I try to adapt it because he's somewhat unique. He's not autistic. He doesn't fall into necessarily one of those other categories. So there isn't necessarily a field that, hey, here's stuff that would help a kid just like Zachary. So I look all around at all kinds of things to try to pull it in. Yeah, he's reading, and they're doing, so I didn't mention, they use that in school, they use the talker in school, but also he's in first grade, right? And we even tried to keep him back, but they didn't want to keep him back. He's in first grade, integrated in with the regular kids, and he's learning the first grade curriculum. So, and he's learning to read. He's not necessarily up to par with all the kids because he is delayed, and again, why we wanted to hold him back, but he's learning. He can read, he can sight read, and he's starting to be able to spell other words besides his name. So yes, again, this is the way we got, because the teachers need to test him, this is one way to pull out what's in his head because he can't do it normally like other people can. His emotion, yes, so the question is about emotional is yes. And so actually for the first couple of years, we only could tell by his, like a baby, like crying, like his mood. And so we got very good with understanding that, and nobody else really could. Now that he actually can communicate in other ways besides just sort of crying and fussing, that kind of stuff, we can read him, right? When he asks for things, like not just with this talk, but pointing and going. And again, his parents and his brother, we can read him really well based on that. So yes. Thank you everybody very much.